I'm Benjamin Laga. I am the CEO of Protealis. And Protealis has a mission to bring sustainable protein crops back to Europe. We're based in Ghent, and there's actually 4 pillars why we think we should do what we do. On the one hand, our global protein supply chain is not sustainable. We're basically deforesting South America to grow more protein crops, soybeans. Then we ship them halfway across the globe, doubling the carbon footprint, and then we use them in the least sustainable way as animal feed rather than as food for humans, which leaves us with nitrogen issues. So that's problem number 1, sustainability. Also for farmers, we always work in the interest of farmers, of course, in this industry, and here we want to help farmers bringing new diversity in their crop rotation by bringing a crop that is actually helping also to regenerate their soils. And it's a crop that doesn't require any mineral fertilizer, which is also helpful to them because prices of mineral fertilizers are very high. Then there's the plant-based food industry who's looking for local sustainable sources of protein. And the 4th one is the geopolitical dependence of Europe. We're 70% dependent on import of proteins to feed our population. And of course, after COVID and the war in Ukraine, the European Commission is looking quite heavily into, okay, what are our dependencies and what can we do to mitigate that? So we want to help on those 4 issues. We actually made soybean adaptable to be grown in Europe, much like corn in the 60s. Before the 60s there was no corn because it was a tropical plant. And now it's full of crop. And that's because people have done the effort in making a version of maize that can be grown here, and we're doing exactly the same thing with soybeans. To start off, there's of course my co-founder and me, so Jonas, who is the breeder, who has actually started already to do that kind of work since 2012 at an institute in Belgium, and that work was then incorporated into Protealis, and Jonas is also continuing his job here. And then I came also on board when 2 institutes in Belgium tried to start this company to help co-found it. Given my expertise in plant biotechnology, I was responsible for developing the plant biotechnologies at companies like Bayer and BASF, and using those insights into how we can do really high-tech breeding to further the development and speed up the development of these soybean varieties for Europe. And the rest of the team, we have a lot of different people, very diverse, that are a nice mix of people that have either already a long career in the industry and bring a lot of expertise, and some very young potentials who we foster and help to grow and develop in their career. Well, obviously the first one for us was to really develop a first product and to demonstrate that it is possible to do what we claim we want to do. So developing the first soybean varieties, we currently have 6 on the market. And next to the soybean varieties, what we also develop is microbials. So these are microbes that can infect the plant and do the nitrogen fixation for the plant so that you don't have to fertilize them. But also here, this is a natural mechanism, but also these bacteria are typically tropical from origin. So we also wanted to make a product that is more suited for the European climate. So we both make seeds that are suited for the European climate and the microbial inoculant that goes with that. And for that, we're also out of the R&D phase. So we have proof of concept for those. So I think these are major milestones to gain sufficient trust in the company going forward that we can really deliver on what we promised when we set out at the beginning, that we can really deliver on those promises. And now the challenge will be to further go into commercialization through pivoting from an R&D company into a more commercial company. Well, currently we're really founded as an R&D company. That's where the history of most of our team also lies. And now that we have our first products on the market and prototypes of future products, it's transitioning this company, doing this pivotal transition from an R&D company, pure R&D company, into a commercial company. And that is going to be, I think, a nice challenge for the future for the company, but one that we will tackle with a lot of confidence. Nevertheless, we know this is going to be something that takes a lot of energy from us in the next few years. Yeah, as I said, we're in this pivotal transition towards being a scale-up. So here, looking at what kind of advice, meeting kindred companies that have the same, that are in the same transition phase, meeting with mentors that can help us. And to be honest, we're currently still a bit exploring and see what is possible within the EIC Scaling Club, and then we'll make the best of it. Another thing that is also of interest to us is, for example, getting more access to people in politics, regulators. That's also of interest. So I think there's a lot of components within the EIC Scaling Club that will be of interest, and we'll have to find our way around it. Yeah.